I want to give you an update. The search for Gonzalo Lopez continues in the area west of Centerville, Texas in Leon County. He escaped yesterday afternoon at about 1:20 from a transport bus that was headed from Gatesville to Huntsville. He was on his way with other inmates to a medical appointment in Huntsville on the transport bus. Transport bus had 16 inmates on it, along with 2 correctional officers. The other 15 inmates did not escape. They are still in our custody. Gonzalo Lopez is out there somewhere. We are continuing our search for him. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice is now offering a $15,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and capture of Gonzalo Lopez. The information on how to provide that information, either by way of an anonymous tip, will be on our social media pages shortly: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. There's also a link on our website, www.tdcj.texas.gov. Again, that is a $15,000 reward. Stand by. Okay. Again, $15,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and capture of Gonzalo Lopez. He is a very dangerous person. He has a capital murder conviction out of Hidalgo County. He also has an attempted capital murder conviction out of Webb County. He killed a man in 2005 with a pickaxe after kidnapping the man and asking for a ransom for his return. When that was not done, he killed the man with a pickaxe. He also had an accomplice who we still don't know who that was. He also fired shots at a sheriff's deputy in Webb County. So this man is a very dangerous person. If you see him, do not attempt to take him into custody by yourself. Contact 911, have local law enforcement deal with him. He is someone not to be reckoned with by yourself. Any questions?
Is there any indication at all that he may have had help?
It's an ongoing investigation. Can't answer that right now. Now, let me tell you about what I told some folks this morning. You weren't here, so let me go ahead and tell you about what happened yesterday. Yesterday, as the bus was heading eastbound on Highway 7 from Gatesville to here in Centerville, about 1.5 miles west of here, somehow he was able to gain access into the driver's compartment of the bus. He began struggling, fighting with the driver, the correctional officer of the bus. They got into a fight. The officer smartly and heroically pulled the bus over to the side of the road. When the bus got over to the side of the road, he and the inmate got out of the bus and continued to struggle and fight each other outside of the bus. There was another officer that was in the back of the bus with a shotgun. That officer, stand by just a minute. I'm sorry. That officer got out of the back of the bus through the emergency door, fired 2 shots into the rear tires of the bus to disable it. During that moment, the inmate got back on the bus. The officer that he had been struggling with, he had tried to get his service weapon on his side. He was able to get it off of he was able to get the belt off of his waist, but he did not get the weapon out of the holster. He didn't understand how to get it out of what we call a 3-point. He didn't understand how to get it out of the 3-point. We have the gun in our possession. He never had possession of the gun as he fled from the scene, but he got back behind the wheel of the bus, continued driving the bus about another mile down the road with the flattened back tires. He then lost control of the bus, went off of the side of the road about 1.5 miles west of here. That's when the officers caught up with him, or caught up to the bus. They ran down the road and they fired shots at him as he was running across the cow pasture. We don't think he got hit. They fired both their service weapons and a shotgun in his direction as he was headed northbound through the cow pasture. Last we saw him, he was in all white garb, white shirt, white pants. Don't know if he's still dressed like that or not. He's now been out there for almost 24 hours. This happened at 1:20 yesterday afternoon. So, again, $15,000 reward now being offered for the arrest, for any information leading to the arrest and capture of Gonzalo Lopez. Any other questions?
Yeah, so you mentioned that he somehow got to the front of the bus. I'm assuming that there's almost a barricade that separates the back.
Yes, ma'am. There is a door. There's a door that separates the seated area for the inmates from the compartment where the officer is seated. It's a door with some wire mesh around on this side. Somehow, we don't know yet how that happened, he got up underneath, he used some type of a device to cut out the bottom of that door. He got down underneath the door, he crawled underneath the door, and when he got through that opening that he cut open, that's when he started struggling with the officer. Let me give you the name of the two officers. Officer Randy Smith was the driver of the bus. He was the one that suffered a puncture wound to his hand when he got in a fight with the inmate. The inmate used something to stab him. We don't know what that was just yet. He stabbed him in the hand. Officer Smith later discovered when he got home that he had also gotten punctured in the chest. How he didn't know that, we still don't know, but these are non-life-threatening injuries to Officer Smith. The other officer, Officer Jimmy Breiniger, the officer that was in the back with the shotgun, he was not hurt. He was the one that fired the two shots into the rear wheels of the bus to disable it so that it couldn't go further. The other inmates stayed on the bus. They were not able to get out of their restraints. Somehow, again, we don't know how, it's still under investigation, we don't know how he got out of his restraints to get up underneath that door and get into the driver's compartment.
So from my understanding, there's a front officer who was driving the bus and a back officer, and neither of them were able to spot Lopez when he was cutting out.
Correct.
And but that gate, that front, that separates the front from the back, there was a lock on that gate?
Yes. Yes, it is a secured door. There is a key that is used to open that, but he didn't use a key to open that door. He used some type of device, we don't know what, some type of device to cut out the bottom of the door. There's an opening, I'll show you with my hands. There's an opening maybe about that wide, maybe about that high. And he crawled underneath that from the floor up. He crawled underneath that, and then he got up there where the driver of the bus was.
What are the sorry.
Is it metal that he cut through?
Yes, metal.
What are the expectations of that back officer as he stands back there? Is he standing and looking over?
He's seated. He's seated. And he didn't see we don't believe he saw what was going on either. This is still part of our ongoing investigation. Both officers are being very cooperative and talking about what happened. Let me tell you this, these two officers acted very heroically for what they dealt with and how they dealt with it. The officer that fired the shots with his shotgun into the rear wheels of the bus, that was smart thinking on his part to do that, to disable that bus. Had he not done that, there's no telling where we might have this bus right now with 15 or 16 inmates on it, somewhere here, who knows where, here in East Texas. But, we don't know what could have happened. Officer Breiniger was very smart to fire those shots into the rear wheels of that bus. Officer Smith, again, he acted heroically as well to make sure that Lopez did not get his gun. So both officers would be commended for their heroic actions.
For folks who live in rural Leon County or beyond, I lock their doors regularly. Who knows? What's your advice to them?
The advice to the public right now is, if at all possible, stay in your homes. And if you see this guy, do not engage him. Call 911 immediately. Let us know where you saw him, or if you see any kind of suspicious activity, call 911, contact your local law enforcement, have them deal with the situation. Don't try and do it on your own. Again, he's got a life sentence for a capital murder where he killed a man with a pickaxe, and he's also got an attempted capital murder conviction for shooting a gun at a police officer. So he's somebody that is very dangerous.
Can you tell us about what it kind of looks like in the search area? This was about 300 people out here today. We've been watching all of these.
Thank you, Clay. Yes, we've got about 300 over 300 law enforcement officials out here. Let me tell you, we do have the FBI that is now assisting us in the investigation. Also got the U.S. Marshals Service assisting. We've got various law enforcement agencies around in the area. We've got Leon County Sheriff's Department. We've got Jewett Police Department. Let me commend the Jewett Police Department was the first law enforcement agency on the scene when the bus crashed yesterday. They were the ones that were first on the scene. The officer was driving down the road, saw what had happened, and he immediately began helping Officer Breiniger and Officer Smith. So we've got Department of Public Safety here. You can see them behind me with the roadblock. Highway 7 between Centerville and Marquay is shut down. If anybody is planning on driving down Highway 7 from Centerville westbound, make another plan. You're not going to get through there. Also, Highway 79 that runs from Marquay up to Buffalo, we are asking the public to please not use that roadway as well, because that's part of our perimeter. Interstate 45, we can't really do anything about it. It's a major thoroughfare, but if anybody sees anything suspicious along I-45, please let us know. So we've got a triangular area that is set up. Centerville westbound on Highway 7, northeast on Highway 79 up to Buffalo, Buffalo back down to Centerville on I-45.
If I can ask, as we've been standing here waiting for the next presser,
Yeah.
I've seen a few, trucks allowed past the barricade. Is that regarding to any update?
You talking about our trucks?
Yeah.
Our trucks are part of the investigation. They're going out to the perimeter.
Yeah, so that's just kind of switching.
Yeah, shift change. Yeah. And as you probably noticed, the commercial traffic, a lot of trucks use this road, and DPS blockade back here, they're turning them around. Any other questions? Again, we want to emphasize there is now a $15,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and capture of Gonzalo Lopez. The information will be posted shortly on our social media pages, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, as well as on our website, www.tdcj.texas.gov. $15,000 reward. We want to get this guy before he does anything to anybody else.